So hello everybody, it's Beauty87 here, and today we are going to go over the Pat McGrath The System collection. This is the primer, foundation, and the powder. Now, if y'all saw Auntie Jackie's video, as I get into this primer, this isn't a first impression. I wore this foundation all day yesterday, so I can kind of give y'all an idea of how it wore and things like that. I'm going to start off with this primer. Now, this primer costs 60 bucks. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's supposed to have skincare benefits in it, so y'all know I'm all about that. I'm mad though because I literally just shot this video and I was blurring the entire time. I didn't know, but you know, that's how my mom thought. She didn't know that, you know, I was gonna be blurring it. She just looked in it to make sure y'all could actually like see me, because I'm shooting at a different angle than I normally do, because I left my tripod at my grandma's house, so I couldn't just, you know, sit the way I normally do and film the way I normally do. But it's like I wanted to get this video up because I had told one of my followers I was going to have it up Friday, and instead I did the Dose of Color one because I was like, I wanted to do a wear test on this one so I could have a kind of idea instead of just first impression on how the product wore. And y'all know I wasn't to edit nothing, so I wore it yesterday and I'm doing the video today. But I really like the primer. I would suggest you get it. Now, only thing I don't like about the packaging, like if you pull this, like I'm guaranteed it will come off, and for 60 bucks I feel like, you know, that shouldn't be happening. So that's my only issue with it. And how much product is in here anyway? Does it say? This has 1 fluid ounce of product in it for 60 bucks. So I mean, it's a good primer. I just don't know if I would necessarily, like, you know, want to spend the 60 bucks on it. Not that it's not a good product, but you know, sometimes you just be like, look, this is high. And the primerizer, I think it's like $20 less or something. So, but I don't think it has like hyaluronic acid in it. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is what the foundation looks like. Yesterday I did it Auntie Pat's way. I mean, yesterday I didn't do it Auntie Pat's way. Today we're going to do it Auntie Pat's way. A little bit, like on my forehead and stuff. We're going to, you know, we're going to go ahead and rub it in with our hands. But like on the bottom parts of my face where I have really bad acne and, you know, stuff like that, black spots and things like that, we will be going ahead and using the brush for that. So I'm going to start on the bottom of my face. I'm going to use the brush there, and then when we get to the top of my face, I'm going to go ahead and rub it in with the, you know, my finger. And then I'll go over it with the Dose of Color sponge because I'm still trying to test that out. On first impression, I wasn't impressed with it. I'm still not necessarily impressed with it. If you want to see me testing out the new foundation they came out with, I will leave it in the cards above. I mean, I'll leave it in the cards above, or I'll leave it at the end of this video. I might do both. I don't know, because sometimes people want to click out a video to get something important they want to see, but they still want to see that video. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, leave it in both spots so you can see. But see, this is the bottom half of my face. As you can see, it's not giving like a whole bunch of coverage. I still see all the dark spots on my cheeks on both sides, so it's not like too great a coverage, but you know, it's pretty good. I'm sorry if you can hear people talking in the background. My grandma does stuff like that on purpose to irritate people, because you know, she's sad about her life, but it's like that doesn't mean you get to ruin everyone else's. Anyway, sorry, random side note, but if you all didn't know, my grandma has dementia, so it's a whole different way of dealing with people who have dementia, because it's just awful. Anyway, let's talk about some foundation. So the foundation release that came out today really kind of pissed me off. I don't know if you all noticed, but the ebates foundation, remember I was talking about getting that one. I don't know about getting that one anymore now, because I don't like the fact that they released it today, but everybody else can buy that shade until you get to the dark shades. The dark shades are coming soon, and the dark shades out of stock, and you have to wait to have an email notification. How's that out of stock if you just launched it today? And I went on the page like 5 minutes after they had launched it at 12 o'clock. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy it tonight. And, you know, that way I can have him deliver it, and then I can review it for y'all Friday with it. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, you know. And I was like, Friday I'll go in store and buy the powder, because, you know, like I told y'all, Ulta's right around the corner from my house. So I was like, okay, cool. I got the whole thing planned out. I go to their website. All the shades that are for people my skin tone and darker, like Nima Tan can't buy her shade right now. Patricia Bright can't buy her shade right now. Jenny Jenkins can't buy her shade right now. Hell, Jackie Aina can't buy her shade right now, because we the same shade. So her, me, and Andrea, everybody that's brown on the spot here in Beverly Hills just said fuck you, basically, because you cannot buy your shade on Ulta at all. Now, I don't know if you can buy your shade on their website, but you can't buy it on Ulta. That's not happening. And this is it built up to a second level, and I still feel like the cheeks are showing my dark spots or whatever, so I'm probably gonna have to go over them one more time, and then we'll go into the finger rubbing on the forehead. I know that just sounded really weird saying it out loud, but I'm like, I don't know how you thought it was okay to launch everybody else's shade and just say, you know, like, fuck my shade. But I'm just waiting to be satisfied when you finally decide to bring my shades in. And the girl that worked at Ulta, because I posted this on Trend Moves page, I was like, I find it funny that everybody can buy the shades except the dark people. And so the girl was like, yeah, I work at Ulta, and you know, like, we put the display up this morning and they didn't have any of the dark shades in stock. And I'm like, so are you really inclusive or are you just phony kicking it? Because it seems like you're phony kicking to me, because why can't I buy my shade when y'all first launched, but everybody else can buy their shade? But I'm just be content and be like, oh, okay, you know, later it's fine, you know. No, it's not fine. If you go launch the shades, launch all the shades at the same time, don't think I should have to sit and wait and still give you my money and be satisfied with you thinking I wasn't good enough to launch with everybody else. So, I don't know if y'all gonna get a review on that foundation, to be quite honest, just because I'm not feeling the fact that, you know, they out here just thinking it's okay to, disrespect us, especially with the launch they got coming up soon. Which I'm not gonna get into, but like, I follow Karen Harris, and on her community page, she had leaked the palette they was coming out with. And I found it interesting who they had the palette coming out with. Because I'm like, that person would definitely not go for any of this foolishness they cause of pulling with this lack of releasing the dark shades. But everybody else's shade comes out on launch day. So I was just like, this is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'm going to go on with my fingers now on the top part of my face. I'm just going to dot some around the forehead and the sides. I don't feel like I need as much here as I do, you know, on my actual face. So we're just going to start rubbing. It feels so weird to do this. I feel like I'm Sandra Deluxe right now. I really feel like Sandra Deluxe right now, because they say she loves to do this. I personally don't. I don't want foundation on my fingers, but, you know, for the sake of the video and because they say products work better when you warm up the skin with your hand, you know, I'm like, okay, we'll try it, but I'm not feeling this situation at all. Just so you know. Okay, so I feel like it gave me about the same coverage as it does with the sponge. I don't see, you know, too much of a difference. The sponge gives lighter coverage, obviously, because most of the product slinks into the sponge, but I'm just going to pat all around here. But I guess I'll leave something in the cards, a poll or whatever, to see what y'all think about it, because I just wasn't feeling the fact that I can't buy my shade today, but everybody else can. Like, what? Why can everybody else buy their shade now, but you expect me to wait and be okay with still giving my money after everybody else had the chance to review it because you thought my shade should have to wait? And I checked before I made this video too, and before I went on Instagram, and it still says coming soon for my shade. I didn't check like the shades that Nima Tang and Too Much Mouth and other dark skin YouTubers wear, but I did, when I initially put my post up on Instagram, I did note the fact that they couldn't, all those shades said they were out of stock, and they had to get on an email waiting list. I'm like, how is that out of stock when you only had this product for 5 minutes? Like, I know people like ABH, but I'm pretty sure everybody did not buy out the shade when you just launched this like 5 minutes ago. So, what's really going on? Because I want it out. Well, like I said, I'm going to put a poll up, and like, do you think that's shady? Because I find it to be real shady. Because what was the point of making all these shades if I can't buy in the store? Same thing with CoverGirl. Remember when they came out with theirs, you could only buy certain shades in store. And I know I went to the store and they only had D10, and then it went all the way to D90. So it's like, I'm D50, so I'm supposed to go to your website to buy this foundation, or I have to go to Ulta and buy this foundation. I can't go to the drugstore and buy it, even though this is a drugstore foundation. Like, you know, what type of sense does that make? If this is a drugstore foundation, I should be able to buy it in this drugstore. Because y'all know I go to CVS to buy stuff. So I'm like, I'm in CVS, like, you know, looking for the foundation. And I get there, it's only D10 and D90. So I'm like, just fuck everybody else in between these shades, okay? Because that's all this says to me. And y'all know I, again, was definitely not feeling it. I'm like, I don't like the fact that, you know, if you're going to release it and it's a drugstore foundation, why can't I buy all these shades in the drugstore? Like, why I gotta try to go to Ulta and find it? Or hope the Walmart hadn't sold it out of my shade, because that was the only place I saw it where they had like multiple shades. So y'all know I definitely was not feeling that launch either. I mean, it's not that the foundation isn't good, because I will give them that it's a good foundation, but you know, like, if I can't find my shade in the store, how was I going to guarantee that that was the right shade for me? If Andrea Renee hadn't done the video, I wouldn't know what shade I would need, and you know, that's kind of not helpful, especially since it's like you expect them to buy it online, even though it's supposed to be a drugstore foundation. So I'm like, I need these brands to like do better. If you make these shades, actually make them accessible, not expect me to buy them online. I know a lot of people buy stuff online, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't sell it online, but it's like I should have the option to go in the store, because what if I'm not sure what shade I am, and you have all these shades, since you're trying to be inclusive now, but if I can't check and see which shade works best for me, and I have to go off your description, which all descriptions are not, you know, like created equal, and all descriptions aren't necessarily correct to people's skin tone. It's like, if I can't, you know what I'm saying, if I can't go in store and try it out, or at least get a sample of it or swatch it or whatever to make sure I buy the right shade, I'm gonna have to keep ordering online and buying 12 different shades, all because you only want to bring all the medium shades in the store, a few fair, a few light shades, and like 2 dark shades. Like, you know, this is the Tarte Gate or the Shape Tape Gate or whatever the hell they were calling it. Like, no, that's not okay at all. So I don't know if I will be reviewing that anymore, just because I really don't like the way they handled that, and the fact that people like me just are an afterthought. And it's like, I'm an afterthought, that's fine, but that means I don't need to be trying to support your brand, because to you all I am is an afterthought. So I'm really having some mixed feelings about ebates right now. Like I said, I don't know if you can buy this off their website right now in my shade, and I just didn't check there. But it's like, if it released everywhere, I should be able to buy the shade everywhere, right? It released at Ulta and it released with you. Why should I have to go to you to buy it? I should be able to buy my shade wherever I choose to buy it. And I'm really just not feeling it right now. And I was going to go in the store and be like, oh, well, let me see if they have it in store, and they just didn't launch it online. But the girl that works there herself said they didn't even launch my shade in store. So it's like, oh, okay, so you just said